It's no secret the Blue Ridge Parkway is in tough shape.
Yeah.
The road and its attractions are facing a huge backlog of needed repairs.
Yeah, and perhaps no place needs TLC as much as Mabry Mill near Meadows of Dan, said to be the most photographed place on the parkway. Mabry Mill is a must-see location for people traveling the Blue Ridge Parkway.
So this was one of the main spots that we wanted to hit up.
Yeah, all our news articles said this was a spot to stop.
Yeah. What do you think of it?
So far, it's really cool.
For sure, yeah.
We like history.
What made you want to get off the parkway here as opposed to someplace else?
Well, scenic. It's very scenic and a chance to learn something about the mill.
Despite the fact Mabry Mill draws more than 100,000 visitors a year, it is in disrepair. The roof of the mill leaks badly, the pond has turned swampy, and the famous restaurant closed when the previous vendor pulled out and no new potential operators stepped forward. The problem is hurting local communities that depend upon the mill's success.
It's definitely devastating to see the state of it right now when it's the most photographed landmark along the Blue Ridge Parkway. We have over 16 million people driving the parkway each year, and when they get there and they see the state of it, it's kind of disappointing for them. And for us,
despite the need, Mabry Mill is not listed among the projects in the current funding stream from the National Park Service. Other projects on the 469-mile roadway have priority, and the park is running low on fuel. The Blue Ridge Parkway itself has a backlog of work totaling more than $449 million. Yet the annual budget is only $18.4 million, and routine maintenance, like mowing grass, costs $17 million. Carolyn Ward heads the foundation that works with the Park Service to raise private money for Mabry Mill and other parkway projects.
You could say, is it a lack of money? Is it a lack of resources, a lack of staff? Sure, all of those things factor in, but it's a much bigger, more complex issue than just the park didn't care and didn't invest. It's not quite that simple.
Take a look at the roof. To be historically correct, the replacement shingles must be made by hand after cutting down an actual white oak tree.
It's not like going to Home Depot and buying a pressure-treated piece of wood where many of us are used to.
Ward says because of waning funds, the number of skilled artisans who work on historic projects like the mill roof have gradually declined from 12 to 2.
And so it's not an easy answer. The Park Service has to do it authentically. They have to do it in a way that protects the integrity of the historic structure.
Fortunately, the Parkway Foundation has raised the $65,000 needed for those roof repairs that could happen within the next 12 months. And there seems to be support from Washington.
There's the very famous Mabry Mill that is going to be restored. I'm a little disappointed it's not already happened, but we have the funding and it will take place.
Even if they fix the roof and protect the mill's inner workings, the pond is still a problem. And then there's the restaurant nobody seems to want to operate.
The future of the concession at that site, I would say, is less certain.
What's the connection between the success of your business and Mabry Mill itself?
Oh, it's huge. Like we would have never opened here if Mabry Mill wasn't as busy as it was.
And at the poor farmer's market, the only thing more abundant than fresh fruit is frustration.
And it is frustrating, but again, it's just trying to have that balance. You know, we want to put pressure on them. Yes, the squeaky wheel get the oil in that regard too.
When I try to talk to the National Park Service, they tell me that the issue is funding and compliance. And it's kind of like they feel like their hands are tied. I'm not sure. I don't know if anybody knows exactly what the problem is, but it seems to be like a lot of people are noticing this in many federal government agencies. It seems to be like a pandemic of federal government agencies. They seem to not be able to accomplish what they're being paid to accomplish.
So that's our three-part look at the situation there at Mabry Mill. The folks in the Meadows of Dan really want to see the mill put back the way it was. Now, despite the setbacks, there is some good news. The Park Service tells me that the roof work can be completed by the end of 2025, thanks to the money raised by the Blue Ridge Parkway Foundation. They also say they'll be looking at options with the pond, though as of right now, it's not clear if that means they'll be doing the historic and environmental studies or work on the pond itself in terms of digging it out. And they will, once again, ask for bids from potential operators to reopen the restaurant, but they don't know if anyone will apply.